listening to my new Guitar-Nerdery video. There's a great hesitation when it comes to learning the scales of the Ionian system, the modes, the church modes. And that's mostly because the learning curve is considered to be too high. But there's no need to be afraid of long-lasting theoretical horror. Since I'm a great fan of putting things as soon as possible into practice, I'm going to show you that you have to learn only one guitar shape, one pattern that enables you to play all 7 modes of the Ionian system in all keys, learning only one shape and get 84 possibilities. The concept I'm going to explain to you right now works with all kind of patterns. I'm into 3 notes per string patterns, so I'm going to explain by taking a 3-note per string pattern. The first mode of the Ionian system, the first church mode, is called Ionian, the Ionian scale, or commonly known as the major scale. I'm going to show you in the key of A major, and I'm going to show you now my 3 notes per string pattern. I'm going to start here in the 5th fret. The first task for you now is to memorize this pattern, to learn it by heart. In this video I'm going to show you that you can play all 7 church modes in all 12 keys with only this pattern. Makes it 84 possibilities. The only thing you have to learn is where to put your shape on the fretboard to make it being what you want it to be. In this video I'm going to stay away from theoretical aspects as much as possible. I have done other videos that go much more into depth. I'd like to give you very quick access to be able to play them modes, to experience the marvelous world of their sounds. But before I get started, I'd like you to memorize another thing. The order of the modes in the Ionian system. It's Ionian 1, the second mode is Dorian, the third mode is Phrygian, 4th mode is Lydian, 5th mode is Mixolydian, the 6th mode is Aeolian, and the 7th mode is Locrian. I recommend to memorize the order of the modes with the numbers. It will make things much easier. When you have learned that pattern, you have everything you need to play all the modes in all keys. I have already said that. And now I'm going to explain to you the strategy, how you can do this. The whole 3 notes per string pattern has a range of 2.5 octaves, but we only need the first octave for orientation, where to put that pattern on the fretboard to play a particular scale. The first octave is here. Now we give them notes numbers. It's not necessary that you know which note it is. It comes in very handy, but for this concept you only need the number. And it's in the regular order. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By giving them first 7 notes numbers, we are creating starting points. Starting points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in the Ionian system we have 7 different modes, 7 different scales. And they have also a number. And the numbers of them 7 church modes are equal to the 7 numbers we just put here as starting points. Let's start with our first mode, the Ionian mode. It has number 1. And we take our pattern, and if we want to play with this pattern, the Ionian scale, we have to make sure that the root of the key equals the first note, number 1. So if I want to play A Ionian, I have to put that pattern into the 5th position, because then my first note is the note A. And now, since you have found your position, you can switch off your brain and just enjoy playing the Ionian scale. The second mode of the Ionian system is the Dorian scale. So the Dorian scale is number 2. And we take our pattern and make our note number 2 the root. So if we want to play in A Dorian, we have to make sure to put our pattern in a position where our second note is A. Frisian mode is number 3, so we have to take care to move our pattern in a position where the third note, note number 3, is A. The fourth mode, Lydian, and our fourth note of that pattern has to be the root. If we want to play A Lydian, our fourth note is on the A string. So we have to make the fourth note A. This would be with open strings or here in the 12th fret. Mixolydian is the 5th mode. So in our pattern, the 5th note has to be the root. A Mixolydian would be that shape here in the 10th position, because then the 5th note is A. Mode number 6, Aeolian, the minor scale. The 6th note of our pattern has to be the root. A Aeolian would be our pattern in the 8th position, because then the 6th note is A. Finally, mode number 7, our 7th note, which is now in our pattern on the D string, has to be the note A. We're gonna move our pattern into the 6th position, and then the 7th note is the note A. For the key of A Locrian. is a very cool way to get very quick access to the sound of them scales, to be able to play them. Consider, you can now play with one pattern, 7 different scales in 12 different keys. Of course, I have to mention there's a trade-off by learning only one pattern. Then your range, your possibilities are very limited. You can play only in one position, and then you have a kind of vacuum on the fretboard. And yes, you can play that same shape exactly 12 frets higher or lower, if it's possible. It depends on the key. If you want to be able to play the scales on the whole fretboard, then you have to learn more than one pattern. But the learning curve is very high, and I believe it gets you very motivated when you can play as soon as possible. For those of you who want to learn more about the Ionian system and all its church modes, I'm going to put some links at the end of this video, referring to videos I've already made about this topic. This was it for today. I wish you a happy playing time. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I'm looking very forward to see you next time.